Hezbollah didn't just hit an Iron Dome battery, it filmed it. 2 strikes, released as footage, and Israel had no answer. Not for the video, and not for the drones still coming. 1 soldier is dead, and the IDF's solution to the drone threat? Fishing nets. The most sophisticated air defense in the Middle East is caught in a net of its own making. In a major breakthrough, Hezbollah has pounded the biggest defensive weapon at Israel's disposal. The Iran-backed group released footage of its drones striking an Iron Dome air defense battery on Israel's northern border in an attack Israeli officials have been unable to dismiss. The group published a video on May 11th showing strikes carried out on May 7th and May 8th at the Jal al-Alam site along the Lebanese-Palestinian border. The footage captures 2 separate hits. First, the Iron Dome platform itself, then its crew during a replacement operation. The IDF offered no public response, but sources close to the military could not dispute what the video showed. The attacks came with a human cost. According to reports in Israeli media, Command Sergeant Major Alexander Glovanov of Petah Tikva was killed near the Lebanon border after several explosive FPV drones crossed from Lebanese territory on May 10th. Glovanov served as a transport vehicle driver in the transport battalion. 2 days earlier, 3 reserve soldiers, including an officer, were wounded in a separate FPV drone attack near Shlomi, with 1 requiring surgery after sustaining serious injuries. The strikes have exposed a vulnerability Israel has yet to solve. FPV, or first-person view drones, guided by operators watching a live feed, are cheap, precise, and increasingly lethal. They first gained prominence on Ukrainian battlefields and have since become a defining feature of the conflict in southern Lebanon. Israeli channel I-24 described Hezbollah's drone operations as an Israeli nightmare, with the group now conducting strikes at a scale and frequency not seen before. Senior officers from Channel 13 acknowledged the army's hands are significantly tied, describing the situation on the Lebanon front as deadlocked with no viable solution currently in place. In response, the IDF have now begun distributing thousands of meters of fishing nets to units across the border to physically trap drones before they detonate. IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Eyal Zamir addressed the Knesset Foreign Affairs and Defense Committee.
There is no ceasefire. The military had not been given the mission of disarming Hezbollah. Instead, its objectives are to defend against anti-tank fire and raids, and to create conditions that would allow the Lebanese government to disarm the group.
Former IDF Air Defense Chief Ran Kochav had also warned in mid-March that Israel's own missile defense batteries were dangerously exposed. Hezbollah, it now appears, was paying close attention. On May 9th, 3 Israeli reservists were wounded by an explosive drone in the Shlomi area near the Lebanese border. It was not an isolated incident anymore. It was by now a pattern. Since October 7th, Israeli forces operating in southern Lebanon have been facing a threat that is small, nearly silent, and devastatingly effective: fiber optic drones, guided by wire rather than radio signal, making them immune to electronic jamming. The IDF has no reliable answer for them, and the soldiers on the ground know it. One of them is H, a reserve sergeant major serving in the 91st Division. He has completed nearly 500 days of reserve duty since the war began. He is currently on his 6th tour in Lebanon. When asked by Ynet about the drone threat, he did not mince words.
This is very concerning to us. Several times a day we have warnings about incidents, and unfortunately once every few days, the warning comes true after we were unable to deal with it in real time. Right now we have no clear answer to this threat other than running to a shelter, hiding and praying.
The solution the army has arrived at unofficially is fishing nets. Actual fishing nets stretched over positions and vehicles to absorb the impact of a drone strike. H says his unit didn't receive them from the military. They bought them themselves through crowdfunding.
Instead of the army being able to provide us with them, the NCOs are raising funds to buy us some. They post a link to a story they publish and ask citizens for money so that we can buy life-saving equipment.
And even those nets are not a solution. They are at best a margin the difference between dying and losing a limb. What makes the fiber optic drone so dangerous is not just its lethality, it is its timing. Hezbollah has refined a tactic that targets not just soldiers, but the people who run to save them.
Hezbollah's combat doctrine is to shoot at us once and then send another drone that targets the rescue force. This adds to the concern, especially for those who rush to treat the wounded and may also be harmed.
Since the Lebanon campaign began, more than 100 Israeli fighters have been wounded by explosive drones. 3 have been killed: Sergeant Aiden Fox, Sergeant Liam Ben Hamo, and Amer Hujirat, a resident of Shfaram.
As fighters, we do not understand how it is possible that the IDF manages to achieve the capabilities of intercepting outside the atmosphere. And in the end, facing explosive drones from AliExpress, the army does not provide a response. The fighters lose limbs in the best case and their lives in the worst case.
The IDF, for its part, says it is working on it. The army has appointed a brigadier general, a former Air Force pilot, specifically to lead the response to low-altitude threats. The military says it is testing short-range shotguns, air-splitting ammunition, and fixed weapons linked to detection systems. But H has been back 6 times. He has watched the government deliberate while his fellow soldiers bleed, and when asked what he wants people to understand, he said,
It continues to engage in evasion instead of finding solutions for those who show up time and time again.
500 days, crowd-funded nets, multiple dead. Yet the sky still belongs to the Hezbollah drones.